There we go. That's what I wanted. So this is my official 2-month ownership review of my 2017 Honda Fit. Let's see, I'm up to how many miles here? 1,968 miles. That's actually not what I want. There we go. So I'm actually almost at 2,000 miles. Let's see here. Getting pretty close to 1,000 miles per month here. As you can see, my first month I did 816, and then just last month I actually did a little bit over 1,000. But you know, overall I'm still doing under my 1,000 miles per month. So I kind of wanted to give you my thoughts now that I've had this car for about 2 months. As of yesterday, August 1st, I bought it on June 1st. Kind of just wanted to give you an overview of, you know, the things that I like, things that I don't like. So I guess just quickly starting off here, I love the way that the steering wheel altogether is all laid out. I have volume and, you know, audio control over here. I have this button which actually cycles between music and phone. Then there's this little menu button that you can use when your audio is actually turned on. And allows you from the steering wheel to select things like play and pause, shuffle, repeat, and that sort of thing. These two side rockers are for going forward and backward in a playlist, that sort of thing. So you can do most of it from the steering wheel, but it's also very easy just to reach over and touch the screen. As you can see, I do a lot because I have fingerprints all over it. Probably should have cleaned my car before I did this. You can see the dash just kind of dusty, but I've been using it a lot. You can tell. Floor mats, I've vacuumed a couple times, but that's okay. That's what happens when you work in a construction zone and you track dirt around and you get in your car, and yeah, that's just what happens. Cruise control on the steering wheel here, pretty much like it is on every other Honda anyways. This is a little bit, I mean, every Honda that I've ever driven has the cruise control right here on the right side of the steering wheel. They've changed the design, of course, but you know, my Accord had it, the van has it over here, and then this one does as well. And then down here you actually have these three buttons. So this button is for voice activation. You can press it once and you get the Honda version. Personally, I don't really like that version as much, especially since I can just use Siri. So if you hold it, then it'll give you Siri on your phone, and Siri is much better because she already has names and everything of your contacts, and I just think it's much easier. Then you just have call and hang up buttons, you know, very simple. So this will answer a phone call, this will reject a phone call or hang up a phone call. Very simple. Auto headlights are very nice. Auto fog lights, and you know, I might be saying the wrong thing by saying auto fog lights, but basically if I have this turned to the on position, when the headlights come on, fog lights also come on. So I do like that feature. And of course there are brights as well. Windshield wiper stick over here. This is pretty much the same in every newer Honda. Mine was actually a twist for the front wipers, but this is a twist for the rear wiper. So this is an intermittent rear wiper, which is actually something the van does not have, the Odyssey that we have. So it has intermittent and then it has on, whereas the van, I think it's basically just intermittent. I don't really see any reason why we'd need to turn it all the way to on, because there's not really any time that I have to consistently, like, the back window just doesn't collect water like the front window does. So obviously you pull down for the wipers, push up for one, you know, pull it towards you, you can clean the window off. Pretty simple. My only complaint with the wipers is on the intermittent setting. There is no way to adjust the timing. Now, my 15-year-old car, you can turn those off, 15-year-old car that won't focus, has the ability to, you can adjust the timing. So I can have it turn all the way up, or, you know, turn it to the shortest interval, which is basically just, you know, consistent, or all the way back, which is about a 15-second delay or something, I think. So, and then you can go anywhere in between, which is really nice. This one, it doesn't. It's not adjustable, but it's a good timing the way it is, that it usually works pretty well. And if I need it to go faster, then, you know, I could go to the next option. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of one of those things that I don't really understand why they opted not to put it on here, because I think every Honda above the Fit has it. And, you know, my 15-year-old Honda had it, or has it. I don't really understand why they chose not to put that in the Fit. I do think that's a little strange, but it's really nothing to write home about, I don't think. Traction control button, we all know what this is really for, but the dealership will tell you it's for, like, you know, if you need to get out of a slippery situation, but we all know why you actually would use the cruise control off button. You get a little light up there, of course. Of course, it has all power windows, auto down, auto up. On the driver's window, then the other three are just standard, lock, unlock, lock the windows, and then the mirror adjustment. This is basically exactly the same as what we have in our van. And it's all the same features that I had before. Oh, I was gonna go the moonroof. The switch is up here, and it's actually fully auto, which is kind of nice, because I wouldn't like driving down the road, you know, with one hand up here, especially driving a stick. You know, I do like to drive with the windows down a lot when it's nice. It's not today. It's 87 degrees, even though it's like 6:30 almost. It's 87 degrees out. Gauge cluster in general, I think it's very nice. It's very easy to read. It just kind of built back into the dash more, but I think that actually makes it better in the daytime, because you can't get glares as easily. Like, you know, you could on some other cars, if you're driving down the road and the sun's kind of like behind you off to the left, you could get a glare off of the instrument panel. And that's really not an issue here, because there's dug so far back in there, and because it has this ring here. You know, I like it. I don't really have any complaints about it. I mean, I don't really think it's like a sporty look, but it isn't really a sporty car. It's pretty quick, and it's light, and it's agile and kind of fun to drive, but, you know, there's nothing that's like sporty about it. It handles really nice. So, I got two cup holders down here. I got a cup holder up here. Interestingly enough, there's not one on that side, but I don't know. I mean, I guess the idea with that is the passenger has more options. I mean, there's also cup holders in the doors, so I think this is supposed to be easier for while you're driving. You can put a drink there, but the only drinks I ever put here are closed drinks, because the last thing I want is to put some kind of open drink here, including like a fast food cup, and have to hit the brakes and have it spill into the vent, because that would be really bad. Climate control, it's all manual in here. I'm totally okay with that. This is an economy level car, so you're not going to get the full auto climate control. You can get leather seats. That is an option, but you can't get this wonder right here that I love, the stick shift. The EXL package, which is the leather package, does not offer manual transmission. And it also is like, it would have been $4,000 or $5,000 more. For me, that's just not worth it. I'd rather get really nice leather and be able to have cool leather seats if I get leather. And at some point I will. Push button start, as you saw at the beginning of the video. Of course, it has rear defrost. And then plus you have the wiper, which I'm kind of in the way. You know, you got the rear wiper back there. I installed this dash camera. I think it's always important to drive with the dash camera. I will stand by that for as long as I live. The touchscreen is really nice. I really do like it. I don't use this Honda Link thing. I've never really been able to try it because I don't have the cord to do so, but the cord is like $100 or something. And then the only thing that I think the best feature that it would have is the GPS feature if you get the GPS app, and that's like another $60. It's just not something I've invested in. I don't really know if I will. And for the same price, I can get the all-weather floor mats for here, which I'm going to do, hoping that I'm going to ask for it for my birthday in October. Maybe I won't have to fork out the money for them, but we'll see. Either way, I will get some all-weather floor mats before winter in here, but you know, that I can get those cheaper than a stupid cable to connect to the radio, so I'm not sure I'll ever try that. The info section basically just kind of gives you fuel economy. It gives you your range again. Of course, I have my range up here. I also get instant fuel economy right out on the top with my remaining fuel on the bottom. History I kind of went through earlier shows, you know, my first month I reset this every month. This will go for as often as you reset your trip A, but I just been resetting it on the first of the month. So my first month I did 816 miles, averaged 35. Second month 1052, averaged 36. So far this month I've averaged 35.8. I'm burning that right now because I'm sitting here with the car running, but that's okay. It's worth it for the video. It does have the lane watch camera, which comes on either when you turn on the right turn signal, or if you push this little button right here, you can just leave it on all the time. Of course, this is all adjustable. And it also has a rear view camera with 3 different modes. So there's this wide angle mode, which is really good for seeing cars next to you. You see how much, it's basically like a fisheye lens, how much wider you can see. There's this, which is like just kind of like a standard view, and then there's this one, which is like a top down, so you can really see how close you are or something. So I like that one for the most part because it gives me the best judge of distance and everything while I am backing up. But I have options. If I need to get really close, I can use that top-down view. Other than that, there's really nothing notable other than stuff that I can tell you about while we go on a little drive here. The gearbox is it's very nice. You know, it's very easy to use, but it's you know, it's very confident, but it's very light, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like you're fishing around wondering if you're in gear. Like, you know you're in gear. I can distinctly feel the difference between first, third, and fifth. It's a fairly short throw, you know, it's not too long. It's way shorter than the throw was on the Ford. I don't know if I ever had any YouTube videos up. Okay, I had a couple videos up about the Ford, but it was just like from my dash camera. I never, like, even, I don't think anybody, as far as my channel goes, I never even like pointed the camera towards the car. It was a 1999 Ford Contour. It was the V6 with the 5-speed manual. It was a piece of crap, but it worked. It got me where I needed to go for a little while. But this is definitely way nicer. It's a very light clutch. Kind of grabs more towards the top, which I don't really know if the intention was, this was Honda's intention, but it makes it really good for quick shifting, because you should always push the clutch all the way down to the floor, but you can usually cheat and, you know, get it into gear as you're pushing the clutch down. So, you know, it does grab more towards the top, which is fine. You know, it's not as linear. The Ford didn't grab right at the bottom, and it grabbed more in the middle, and it was kind of linear, so this one doesn't have as much, like, it has a lot more dead space in it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to say. But it rides really nice. You know, the suspension is not hard, but it still feels, I mean, it handles really well, but it's not boaty at all, but it's still comfortable. You know, like driving over these little divots in the road, yeah, I can feel them a little bit more, but they're not harsh at all. You know, I've ridden in and driven cars where, like, little bumps in the road, little divots, manhole covers, you know, they can be harsh. God forbid railroad tracks. And, you know, yeah, they handle really well, but, you know, this, you can feel them, like, you know they're there. You can hear them too in the tires, but, you know, it still rides really well. Steering is very, very responsive. There's like no dead play in the steering at all. So as we're getting up to speed here, I'll give you one of my bigger complaints about the car. There are a couple things that I'm not completely satisfied with. One of those things is sixth gear. So right now I'm doing 60 miles an hour in sixth gear, and I'm at 3,000 RPM. Now, for some that's a lot. Now, I mean, if you drive a diesel, that's insane because you usually shift about 3,500 while you're accelerating. Or no, red line's like 3,500. I don't know for sure. Depends on the diesel, I guess. But at the same time, Red line is almost 7,000. So I'm not even quite halfway there yet. But on the interstate at like 75, 80 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour is almost 4,000 RPM, and then 70, 75 is like 3,500 or so. So it's still up there pretty good. Actually, you know what? I just changed my mind. I know where I want. No, you know what? I don't need to go that far. I'm making up the route as I go. So 6th gear is very, very short. It's also not much taller than 5th gear. So like, let me get this up to 40. I'm gonna go to 5th. I'm actually gonna set the cruise control. So at 40 miles an hour, I have the cruise control set, and I'm sitting at just maybe a hair under 2,100 RPM. You know, the tag is a little smaller, so it's kind of hard to judge that, but it's like just over 2,000. All right, I'm going to go to 6th gear. We'll let it catch back up here. All right, now I'm at 1,900 RPM. Now, the difference is a little bit more dramatic on the interstate, but not by much. You know, like for comparison, if I go to 4th gear, I'm at 2,500. So that's a 400 RPM difference, like a 200 RPM difference. So it's, I think 6th gear could be taller. I actually almost think that they kind of wasted the, you know, it's just kind of a waste to have 6 gears. Like if 5th gear were where 6th gear is right now, it'd be a good 5-speed. In my opinion, if you're going to have 6 gears, you should have a really tall overdrive gear. And this doesn't have that. I hardly ever use 5th gear. I just literally go 4th to 6th most of the time. Now, if I'm accelerating like I am here, I'm going up to a little bit higher speed, I will use 5th. Or like getting on the interstate, for example. So I will use 5th then, just because it does make a little bit of a difference, but it's one of those, I don't really need it. I could just put it in 6th and be fine. Like on the interstate, if I'm in the right lane and I'm behind somebody going 60 and I decide to pass them and go 70 or 75, I won't even downshift. I'll just, you know, I'll just go left. I'll just hit resume on the cruise control if I have it set, or I'll just accelerate. It's like, I mean, it's not like it's a fast acceleration, but it's enough that I don't really feel the need to downshift. Now, if I really need to get around somebody, I'll drop it to 3rd, because 3rd winds up all the way to 80 miles an hour. It's speculation, of course. I would never, ever test that out. So I'm going to shut the air conditioning off here. I wanted to kind of stop and do like a good 0 to 60, but I don't think I can do that because there is actually a little bit more traffic here than I had anticipated. I can at least make the turn and get through 1st gear. Just point it straight. It kind of whines a little bit, but it does move. It moves pretty good. You know, so 1st gear took it up to about 35. I might have shifted a little bit early too. It does get up there pretty quick. I'm still at 25 miles to the gallon. That's including sitting in the driveway. That is one of my biggest things that I love about this car is the gas mileage. So on my trip home today from work, I had 37.2 miles per gallon. And I'm looking at it right there. That was a little over 20 miles probably. But yeah, that's my 2-month review of the car. If you guys want to see more videos about this car, make sure you like, comment, well, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.